Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome to a traditional Zendikar Rising best of 3 draft with Travis, Semulin, Sowers, and Chat. Chat, say hello to YouTube. We've opened a pack with some considerations, but nothing that I feel is a must take. Like, I could see an argument for Paragon, Disciple, Gecko, Into the Royal, and Blood Beckoning, which are all solid cards. I think I'm still going to take the Paragon. It's a decent 2-drop with some value stapled to it. It's not absurd or busted by any stretch, but to the surprise of no one, I like being green when I can be. The Disciple's interesting to me too. Like, I could take it early and try to get Blood Beckonings and build around it. I could also really gamble on the Gecko, but you don't really know what you're doing until pick 5. Or we could do Rogues. I'm willing to see where that goes. I like Rogues. The last deck we drafted, we got a 2-1 with blue-black stuff. Wasn't exactly focused. And here it's a bit of a, like, what direction do we want to go? Scythe Cat's okay. Blood Priest is okay. Disruption's okay. There's a lot of okay things here. I doubt I would get into a green deck that's splashing for a Soaring Thought Thief. I don't really want to get into red or white. I think that means we take the Surge. Because if I can get into blue-green, the Surge would be quite good. I could play it in Golgari. And I also just don't have to play it. Like, if we get past another good rogue card, I'll make our commitment there. Yeah, it was kind of a weak pack too, wasn't it, Destiny? Not a whole lot we can do with that. Speaking of weak packs, there's a Mind Drain, a Deliberate, a Highborn Vampire, a Skittersnick, Spoils of Adventure. None of this is particularly exciting. Like, even the cards that are in colors we're not playing are not particularly exciting. Like, Spoils of Adventure ain't bad, but you can mostly get what that's offering via the divination here. I think I'm going to take the Mind Drain just in case Rogues is open, but I like, fourth picking one is sad. This is ideally the pack where we can know what we should be doing. We've got yet another Vastwood Surge. Relic Amulet, which I think the ship has probably sailed on that, although we could try it. A lot of these are pointing me towards green cards that want to be paired with blue. But I think I'm going to take the Beckoning. Hey, what's up, Geeks? I could see an argument for the Amulet, too. I think I'm with the Beckoning, because I should be seeing some blue cards here in a minute, right? Yeah, I'm just not. I may end up just defaulting to Golgari because I don't have anything better going here. If I'm doing that, I guess 2 Blood Beckonings makes a deck. Huh. Where is this deck going? This is actually a really interesting draft. I think we need to abandon everything and try to figure out what's actually open. Because what if it's green-red? Could also potentially be green-white. Like, those are not color pairs I want to draft, but I can. We could also consider a squid here, but I feel like we're taking cards. Yeah, I'm actually going to take the Tactician here. I agree with the chair. Because, like, I need to just take the most powerful card out of every pack and then try to figure out what's actually open. Because I'm just getting absolutely no indication here. Grasp is decent, but that leads us to taking blue cards without really having a reason to be taking blue cards. Like, you need a reason to be picking the cards that you're picking. Like, this Divner, I think, is a reasonable pick. Whereas Grasp is fine in conjunction with other cards, but I need a reason to be taking blue cards. And I just don't have one yet. Yeah, none of this is exciting at all. Like, the Paragon at least would play nicely with this. Cascade Seer's okay with this. I guess Celundi Vision's better than an island. But like, this is a rough start. Okay, Seafloor Stalker came back around. Okay, let's talk. Were we actually just rogues the whole time? Because this sort of looks like a medium rogues deck. I wouldn't say a good one, but something playable-ish. I should see another Silencer. With the amount of wizards I already have, we may be able to play this too. This is a weird draft, yo. Feed the Swarm kind of gives us our first reason to be black. So that could actually put us into the rogues. I suppose Golgari is still an option if green's very open in this direction. I don't think I'm interested in the Angel. So let's make sure we have at least some removal spells to play with. I think we're going to end up in blue-black, and I think we could have played the Amulet here pretty happily. Especially considering I got a second Blood Beckoning, but wasn't to know that. Okay, there's another Thief and a Thwart the Grave. I feel like if I take the second Thief, we can really build into it. Even though Thwart the Grave is kind of a more objectively powerful card and Feed the Swarm's really good, I think we actually found our lane. Yeah, the green is beginning to open up with cards like Scythe Cat and Regrowth, but I think I'm pretty happy taking a Geezer Mage here. I do, and that's part of the challenge of it, but like, Thwart the Grave is better than Blood Beckoning. Like, by a lot. Yeah, we're beginning to see the rogue pieces come by undervalued. So, like, there's a plan beginning to develop. It's not a bad plan. Now we need, like, a couple of the 2/2 Death Touch rogues, and we're in business. If we don't get them, Dreadworm, the Squid can fill that slot. I suppose to an extent the Gloom Hunter can too. You're just really looking to kick it. I think I'd rather make sure we have stuff to block with if we need it. Because I suspect the deck would want one Gloom Hunter at most. And it probably, like, if things go poorly, it could end up wanting 2 Squids. Cheaper things to trade off is also nice, because we can take more advantage of the beckoning. Alright, we can grab us a Gloom Hunter here. And again, there's some white cards coming by. It's weird to be this late in the draft and be like, I just need, well, this card. So pretty happy to see it. And another Squid. Okay, we're safe. we're safe in that we'll get there on playables. I don't know exactly what the deck quality is going to look like because we're kind of dependent on opening a good removal spell or 3. Yeah, I think I need a Deadly Alliance, a Vanquish the Weak. Maybe one of them kicker removal spells would be nice. Wouldn't say no to a crab either. Skitter's Neck is reasonable. And again, the white does seem to be open. We kind of had feelings that it was, but I don't think it was for us. There's probably a reasonable adjacent cleric deck at this table. Or at least black-white party. I always think that I'm going to sideboard in Negate, and I never do. So I'm going to take the Blood Price just in case we don't find any other card advantage and we decide we want some. Sure. Have your green and red cards. I'm out. Okay, Mauling is pretty much what we were looking for. But that's not Mauling. That's Agadeem's Awakening. Agadeem's Awakening was pretty much what we were looking for. It's not really, but we're certainly going to play it, and I don't think I want the rest of it. If I'd had that relic earlier, I think we could have done something with it, but we didn't. This is an interesting pack. Yeah, Mauling's still what we were looking for. We just didn't get one. With the lack of removal that we have so far, and not having any bubble teas this deep in the draft, and having the 2 Blood Beckonings, I think we can make a Demon's Disciple do something for us. I'd like to have a field research in this deck too, and I think we might even play this. But I think the Disciple is kind of what we're looking for. Ooh. I really want that Falconeer, but I don't think it's realistic to take it over a Vanquish right now. Is it? With the 2 Stingers and another potential Death Toucher on the ground? Yeah, I think this may actually be the jam, because, like, we'd want it to kill flyers, but we can kind of do that already. Okay, sure. Well, there's a Bubble Snare, which I equivocated about how we didn't have one and didn't really want one. But I think that means I'm fine to take a field research here if I'd like it instead. I could also just accept that there's an Ombo in the deck and move along, but I don't want to. Wizard's a nice pickup. Sure, come on in, buddy. So I can play like a squid. I can play 2 squids and call it a deck. Or I could take this rogue. Sure. Wouldn't mind that. Sorry, Skellington. Today is not your day. Another place, another time. We could have been something great. I think I'm going to take a Lithoform Blight. Don't intend to main deck it, but if somebody has a Crawling Barrens, maybe we want to get that going. Kind of got enough 4s. But I kind of want to take the Cascade Seer out, play another Divner, play a squid or 2 and call it a deck. Like probably 2 squids. 15 land plus the 3 spell lands seems good to me. I said we'd probably play that Chronicler. I don't know that I actually meant it though. Yeah, I think I've played less lands than I anticipated, or less kickers than I anticipated, so I might want this guy from the size board. Is Anticog better than one of these squids? I think I'd at least like access to it, but I was too slow. Which is fine, we got one anyway. There's a possibility at this point the diviners just go out. Like, I could just cut the diviners. Like, we're at like 16, yeah, we're at 18 creatures. So I could cut the 2 diviners, play an anti-cognition, and jam the Skittersnick. And still technically have room for another card if I want it. Right, because this is 15, 16, 17, 18 lands. We ended up getting into Rogues, which seems like it was open, as we ended up with 3 of the Thought Thieves. This gives me 789, 789, 99. I think we're kind of good here. Yeah, I think I can get behind this. It's a good deck. All right, let's take a minute to raid a stream and then see what we can do with this. This is our boss fight, so let's go. Hopefully we can waken the sleeper. Wake up! Splat. Sorry about your nap, bro. There we go. Adam with the kills, Techno Shaman with the assist. Lots of scrolls for Thungai, Mooch, and Citrimba. Yeah, poor guy was just trying to take a nap. Ooh, upgrades for me. My love for you is like a truck. No, I don't want to do verses right now. I am interested in doing that again one day. It was fun. And I think we've gotten significantly more leveled up since the first time I tried that. Boop. All right, we got some drafting to do. Well, I guess we got some gameplaying to do, having already done the drafting. I think I've had a couple decks where the Chronicler looked okay in, but it was like super heavy blue-green kicker. Or I think one of them was blue-black kicker, but it was not amazing. That's fair. The days, like, it needs to be a major upside, not a minor upside. Like, the days of putting a Scathe Zombie in your deck when it doesn't do that much, I believe have passed us by. The Christmas cookies were great. They were real good. I don't know what you're looking to do with that, but I don't think you need it in play. Not a 1-mana combat trick. We got roiled. I'll take it. We're still up a card. Boop. Welcome to the internet, boys and girls. They could conceivably go swamp, mind rot. It's unlikely that they will, but they could. So we find ourselves up against a black-red party deck, and when they don't draw black, it's pretty fine. I don't have a lot to change given those circumstances. Like, the main thing we would want to do is bring in as many squids as we could. Depends strongly on your definition of fun, Band Geek. What is your favorite part of being an adult post-Christmas? I hope you enjoy your snacks. I like a lot about this hand, except the one lander. I could argue to keep it, but I think there's some... I think the better line is to send that one back. It was close. Okay. I guess we're blocking. Okie dokie. This is a little aggressive, but I'm also a little aggressive. Because this should hold back the Rock Slide Sorcerer. The only thing we're scared of is a Minotaur. I don't think the Sorcerer is particularly good against us. But if they're going to have any removal spells, they'd probably be able to take out the Skulker pretty easily, so I don't think we can count on it to be a blocker for us. Terrell, thank you for the resub, man.
Wow, I'll get in there under 2 years. I become cool when I get that badge, right?
You're
Hope you're
already
doing
cool,
well,
man.
Travis.
You're already cool. Thank you for the support over 18 months. Yeah, we saw a few removal spells. It would not surprise me if they have some. You'll spam some cats for Terrell. Thank you, my friend. I mean, we're pretty good to just attack into this again, right? That puts him at 7. Boop. They've drawn a blood beckoning. This is not good. Favorite colors are gray and orange. Now you know. My mom made me a blanket in my favorite colors. And I shall use it now to keep my feet warm. It's quite cozy. Where did the name Semulin come from? So a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I played a game called EverQuest. Imagine, if you will, World of Warcraft, but less fun, more complicated, and pretty bad. But we didn't know any better back in my day. I played on a role-playing server because it was a role-playing game. That kind of made sense to me. You play a role-playing game on a role-playing server, right? And everybody had these really fancy names. You could have last names in that game too. Like, they were very long, they had multiple apostrophes, they were all complicated. So I tried to make up the silliest name I could think of, which was Semulin Jones. And I just kind of used that as my online handle since then. So it was the name of my first EverQuest character that I just made up. Yeah, stuff like that. It was like Semulin Jones. I've got the goofy fantasy first name, but my last name is Jones. Lol. Yeah, I think it's the call because it's going to let me get in some damage. But it only puts them at 1, which is not quite where I want them to be. But if this is their only play next turn, we'll win. You have a preferred intensity of gray? The lighter shades I like a little better. Part of that comes from when I was a kid, and still do, but it's under control now. I had really bad dandruff, so if I was wearing dark clothes, there's just flakes everywhere. I didn't particularly care for that. So I got into wearing lighter shades of colors when I could. And even though it's kind of sorted now, like, I still don't wear dark clothes very often. We takes it. Yeah, that line gets us there. I've seen people reading books on stream. Pardon me. You have to be careful with copyrights and stuff, though. Dark Hawaiian shirts are not hard to find at all. I have a lot of dark Hawaiian shirts that people purchased for me that I really don't wear. Because, like, I still have a tendency to just shy away from dark colors. Like, they'll be bright, but the colors are actually very deep. Or you'll have one that has, like, a very dark blue flower right on the shoulder. It's like, okay, the rest of the shirt is very light, but there's a problem there for me. All right, let's see what we're up against now. What have you got for me? Well, I'm a thought thief. Let us soar. And appreciate the doggo. What a good doggo. I don't think we can pet the doggo, which really seems like a problem. They've got something they can cast. What is it? Okay. They're gonna love this turn. Told you. I like Robert, huh? Relic Robert's not a big problem when you have a disciple. I guess we were just that hungry. I don't think I need to change anything here either. We don't have much of a size board because we took so long figuring out what we were doing. Well, first you click on the feed the swarm, and then you click on the enchantment. We'll see if it was worth it to wait and 2-spell there. What did we get? A bug catcher and a wizard? That's pretty sweet. There's some argument to attacking with the Skulker there, because I expect they make the Night Runner unblockable, but we're starting to leverage ahead in damage. So I think it's attacking next turn, but I think just about everything's attacking next turn. I can respect it. They shouldn't have the mana to cast anything and activate the runner, so we're kind of, I think, putting them in a bind where they've got to choose which of those two things they'd rather do. Yeah, seems good magic is still a thing. I did a video for him not too long ago when I was just getting started with the joy of drafting stuff. We'll just take the 3 power out down, connect for 2. Plan on killing them. Big money, fabulous prizes, no whammies. Howdy, wallet. We bumped into Alex from Seems Good in the queues a couple times. Always good to play against Alex. Christmas was good. I hope y'all had a happy Christmas too. Pretty good one. So is this. He's one of the hardest working people in Magic. He's put videos up for a long time. Good Bane Veil. I don't think good enough though, right? I guess it is if they have another removal spell. Which they don't. Or they'd have just won the game there. Neat. I like it when I win. All right, let's do our Stream Raiders battle, and then we can do the thing with the stuff. Ah! Still a lot of them snow orcs left. I think these dinosaurs are going to hatch. We didn't quite get there fast enough on all of them. Or any of them, as the case may be. No, healers! Poor healers! Run away! The healers are like, screw it, I'd rather be eaten by a dinosaur. And you know, if that is what you want out of life, we can make that happen. We may actually be in danger here, because these dinosaurs do area damage. Alright, it's all on Jacques' Paladin. Now it's all on Miori's Archer. You gotta pew faster, buddy. You gotta pew faster! No! We were so close. Spam this cheese to bring the victories. Unfortunate. All right, we'll try again. That was a 1-star. That was a 1-star, and we got wrecked. Unfortunate. We got super chomped. We can recover. We can recover. It's just tough having to use a retry token on a level 1 challenge. Yeah, tanks are important. Like, hey, maybe we should play some tanks. Eh, it ain't pretty, but we'll keep it. I believe we call them dinosaurs around here. But the squid can do what we wanted it to do. I don't hate you. It's okay to play mono red. It's okay to play whatever you want. Wouldn't have minded a land there. You can play lands if you want to, for example. You can build an 18 land deck and never draw any of them. Like you can do that too. It's kind of like however you'd like to proceed, you can. I'm trying to decide how much I want to respect this Stalker, and I think the answer is not very much. It is for some people, but I mean, I still feel like the biggest part of Cube is that you can kind of do whatever you want. That's a big Stalker. Okay, maybe we do want to respect the Stalker. I'm in a bit of an awkward position where I can't double spell. So I think that means we have to attack with both here and play the Skitter Snack. Like, I still argue that cubes aren't really about reading what's open. It's about drafting whatever the heck you want to draft. Seems deliberate great. But it doesn't matter. You can, like, if red's open, like, you can do it. But even if it's not, you can put together a decent aggro deck if that's what you're about. This is so rough. Okay, a land here, I think, is bad. Because I need double black and I don't have it. I'm going to have to try to block their crap, and I'm going to have to try to kill this Seafloor Stalker. Yeah, I have to kill it now. This sucks. I still can't double spell, but I can try to trade off stuff. Like, this may need to be chomped already. I took 8 damage off of this. Mono red can be fun. One of the reasons I didn't care for the best of one cube as much is because the aggro strategies were so much better there that I felt like if you were drafting other things, you were probably doing it wrong. If they can stop this, I'm probably dead. And I suspect that they can because they didn't equip this, but my hope is that their last card is like a medium 4-drop, and we can mind drain them and stabilize. Because I'm certainly mind draining them. I can't block it if they equip it, so I may as well get the hit in. I don't think I'm going to play around the Spire Monitor until they show me one, so now we will need to play around that next game. Yeah, only if they hit a land. I was kind of thinking they probably had a land in hand, but as it turns out, that was not the case. Alrighty. God, I just have to hope they don't draw a land or a spell, huh? This is not getting better. I realistically should have taken the 2-drop there so I can just empty my hand next turn, but I don't think we're going to get a next turn. So this is like a real tempo-oriented deck. I haven't really bumped into something like this before. Because it's kind of blue-green cards I don't like much. But they sure do look good when they work. So I need to definitely respect the Spire Monitor for starters. Dreadworm can be a reasonable finisher against something like this, but with as much bounce as they have, I'm concerned about it. That was also a particularly rough start for us. I think I may be okay. Yeah, I've got Death Touchers to chonk things on the ground. I'm actually just scared of that equipment that they have, which is bizarre to me. Because I'd kind of dismissed it as unplayable, but when it works, it looks good. It's kind of like their deck starts with a Lava Axe on the stack. Somebody doing leaf blower stuff. Can y'all hear that? I hope not. It's not super loud, but it's a little distracting. You cannot? Okay, that's good. I'm trying to decide if I'm supposed to Thought Thief first or Squid first, and I think the way the deck is built, the Thought Thief's a little more valuable early. This represents more damage, but only if they don't have a blocker. And this could get us more damage over time, if you think about it. Same awkward spot where, like, do I play this or do I play the Squid? I'm just not willing to go off curve for it. Not a bad time to find the Disciple. Keep this in check. Still can't play out the Squid. I'm wondering if we just jam the Wizard as a land here. I think we do. Because I've got Blood Beckoning to refill if they have like a Broken Wings or something. And the squid is at least okay. We've already got the double black. And worst case scenario, I flood out and just use it on this. Hey, they're making our blood beckoning better. I'm going to assume they have the Spire Monitor this turn. Or whatever the card's called in this format. Wadu? Okay. Perhaps another one of these fellas? Thank you for your service, Squidward. I suppose we'll never know, but you might be right there, Timic. Them going on the play is a little scarier because I can't really afford to block against them unless it's with the Stinger. Like Mind Drain's getting a little bit worse, but I don't have enough of a sideboard to play with here. All right, we'll give it a try. The Diviner's worse in this deck than the Skitter's Neck. Because the Snake can at least block some of their crap. I'm going to have to just take the Divination here. Well, we'll have our threshold met in a minute. I kind of want to do that now. So that they can't get me next turn with a Spire Monitor. I would agree on its own the Diviner's not a bad card to include, but this deck is pretty rogue focused, as you can see. Turns out 4-3s are just pretty good. And there you have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thank you for tuning in for the draft today. If you would like to watch the drafting live, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin and say hello to all these fine people in chat. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube, but don't worry, there's more drafting to be had today.